Have you ever seen it?
Have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen?
Have you seen?
Hello and welcome to Have You Ever Seen? I'm your host this week. My name is Luke, and joining me and introducing themselves by saying their name, we have Alex.
Alex.
It didn't have to be in a fun.
Sorry.
Rob.
And Sam.
Alex. Oh, Sam.
We went for a really simple one this week, guys.
I messed it up. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Before we jump into the main bulk of this week's episode, I thought I'd ask you guys, what have you been watching this week? Robert, start us off. What have you been watching? It's been Robert's birthday this week.
It was my birthday. I watched.
So
I watched Robert's birthday.
Something that wasn't very cheery.
I watched you eating some cake.
I watched myself eat some cake.
That was pretty.
I don't know why you bought a mirror with you to your birthday. It was a little bit vain.
I wanted to see it come back up just in case.
Did you do what you always do on your birthday, which is like become a nice tradition of watching the childbirth video of yourself being born?
Me. Yeah, it was.
Like- I love that.
I like that Rob's put a little bouncing thing. You can scream along.
Yeah.
It's the 30th time I've watched it. It's getting a bit old now.
Oh, I really love it. Like I paid to have that transferred to Blu-ray recently.
We're gonna get it screened.
We're gonna
What's
stick.
the Blu-ray cover for that?
Yeah. So what have you been watching, Rob?
So this week I caught up with something that I hadn't intended on watching. Didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I've been watching Chernobyl, the Sky TV series.
I'm really looking forward to watching that. That's good.
Yeah, I wish I'd waited until all the episodes were out, because I watched the first 3 and they were incredible. But now you've got to wait weekly.
How many episodes is it going to be?
I think it might be 6.
Nice.
I don't know where they're going to go for the last 3,
That's a
but
good number.
you can't really do spoilers with Chernobyl.
So-
Everyone knows what happens.
Sky.
I've not
is
had-
it?
I don't even
Is
know
it
what
a
Chernobyl
documentary
is.
series? Is it a drama? Is it
No,
British? Is
it's-
it American? Is it Russian? Is it? Fill us in.
It is a full-on drama. It's not Russian language though. That's my only criticism. Once you get past the fact that it's pretty much
Is it like a Hunt for an October
95%.
moment? Do they speak Russian for a
I
moment and then go
Hunt
full
for
Sean
Red
Connery?
October, man.
Sean Connery could not be told to speak Russian, could he?
I feel that's what happened with these guys.
Such a good job in Highlander with the old Spanish.
It's like in Hunt for Red October, he literally walks in and goes, "Da, show, how about Tommy of the submarines?" That's a terrible Sean
I
Connery.
don't know how Sean Connery got all these roles.
So is it kind of like a Valkyrie approach? So everyone's like,
Yeah, it's a British
everyone's
cast,
supposed to be Russian, but they all speak
and they all speak in like
their native.
British dialect.
I kind of think that's fair enough.
Why, hey, pet, look at this bloody radiation everywhere. I'm going to go blind. I can't see.
You're 3 episodes in. Has anything happened with the reactor yet? Is it still building, or is it?
No, episode 1 starts as it explodes, so it's all about the aftermath.
Okay.
Do you see like the skin come off? And
No,
stuff?
no. It's just lots of people like cleaning stuff, mopping.
Yeah, it's pretty much just
tidying.
Oh, thank God for that.
It's just 6 episodes of tidying up.
Oh, okay, no, that's good. I don't like seeing
It's
stuff
a nice,
like.
pleasant,
No, I've seen some really haunting
hour-long
photos
episode
of it.
experience.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's nothing like
Do you
harrowing
get any
about
tips
it
for
whatsoever.
like sort of like getting
I
like
thought you said,
mildew?
did you see any tits?
Do you see any tits?
No,
Oh,
no.
I've seen some really haunting. There's a guy because the radiation becomes this quite big kind of mushroom or something. It grows and grows and grows.
Yeah, and because of the weather patterns, it
Yeah.
sweeps across Europe.
I mean, like actually right by the reactor, there was this kind of yellow thing growing. There's one guy was cleaning up for weeks, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. No, it hasn't gone
things
into that. But no, I definitely recommend it.
Looks
None of you have watched any of it yet.
Nope, not even.
I've seen the trailer.
anything about it,
No,
you know?
I can't imagine myself. I can't imagine myself being interested in watching something where I feel like it's not going to end well.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
That's
It
any
doesn't
show
fit
ever.
Harry.
yeah,
though.
like where does it? I don't know. Where's the win?
Just saying, if it
I
was,
don't know.
If
That's
it was,
most
if it was
shows.
Korean, you'd have already seen it.
I would have. Oh, yeah, if it was Chernobyl.
Maybe if
I
it was
would've-
like a
I would've
Fukushima
watched it.
alternative.
That's Japan,
I mean,
Rob. Be racist.
Dude, come on, don't go there.
That's the
man.
closest nuclear disaster I could think of to Korea.
There wouldn't be a nuclear disaster in Korea.
But is that currently playing
Too
on
efficient.
Sky then? So we're a few episodes into
Yeah,
that.
I'd suggest maybe waiting a few weeks and just watching them all in one block.
Yeah, like I've done with Game of Thrones. I am now in series 3. Everyone, exciting times.
So you watch
Is
a
Jock-
couple
how's
more.
Daenerys has her dragons back. You'll be pleased to hear. She's in the process of trading one for some soldiers.
Okay.
What's going on? And somebody has just lost their hand.
Oh, snap.
So that's a big twist. So series 3, I'll let you know how it goes.
How's Joffrey doing as king?
Joffrey is doing. He's a prick, isn't he?
He's great.
Like
I love
yeah,
him.
like I kind of like him. Like he's
Really the actor's really Irish. I've heard
yeah.
him speak.
He's now with Oh, is he?
Yeah, super Irish.
He's now traded off his wife. He's gonna have Natalie Dormer instead, which I think's a good trade.
I think it's a good
Yeah,
trade.
it's not bad trade.
I would trade off if that was the
That
option for
smirking
me.
whore from High Garden. Are they not called it that yet?
Oh, I don't know.
They called it her a lot. They called her the
And
smirking
her
whore
brother
from High
is
Garden.
Iron Fist as well, and that was amazing.
Oh, is that the guy
It
who
was
lost his
not.
hand with
Yeah.
the iron
You know what?
fist?
I think he
No.
probably uses his Iron Fist power more than Iron Fist does in that Game of Thrones.
Probably, yeah.
He never
He's
used
more
it.
of a badass. Yeah, he does some fisting in this show.
Oh, my God.
before Renly died. Spoilers! Sam, what you been watching?
I've been watching Australian sketch comedy on YouTube, Auntie Donna. And I think Luke has been watching some Auntie Donna, and I've made you guys watch a little bit of
The
Auntie
first
Donna.
Auntie Donna I watched was about 10 minutes ago.
It's so good. It's just great Australian humour, but
I feel like it's something I could really get
Yeah,
into. Like, I
it's-
would much rather watch Auntie Donna than
Donna.
Chernobyl. for
Auntie with a
example.
Y, just so people can find
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's stupid and immature, but then it's actually quite clever and it's quite creative. It's good. I think I don't know how.
Yeah, it's sketch comedy could be really hit and miss, but this really took me
Every
and sent
episode
us
has got
through.
something about it. Even
Yeah.
the silly ones have got something clever about them. That
They
makes you
have
keep
a
coming back.
subscriber in me.
Dude,
I subscribed.
I'm gonna check it out, man. Like, I've been looking for something to get lost on YouTube.
They've got
with,
one
you know.
song on their album on Spotify, which is just "I never finish my projects," and they just rap those lines. "I never finish my projects," and the song just ends. It's great. They're so creative with it.
Is that better than Lonely Island?
I think the production value is higher in Lonely Island because they had like
Saturday
So
Night
they're
Live
cheating.
money.
yeah,
They're
they had more
cheating,
money.
basically.
It's a cheaper
Sam,
version, but I think
3
more creative.
sketches. If people only had time to watch 3, which ones?
You need to watch Bikey Wars,
Bikey Wars.
which is about a bikie man and a bikie gang. You need to watch Jamalam, which is about an app they create so you can get vegan meals delivered to your home.
Oh, really? Like,
You'd love it. I'll just watch
yeah,
it.
it's really good. We'll
Is
yeah.
it?
You know what? We'll put links to all these in the
and
episode
third
description.
one, you really need to watch the Subway crisis meeting in which they try and figure out which Subway sandwich is the best sandwich to help people forget that they gave $10 million to a paedophile.
Yeah.
Is it a meatball marinara? Does that make you forget that? See, I was looking at the meatball marinara, but I'm thinking about the fact that we gave $10 million to a
I just know
paedophile.
about the 10 to 12 years that he was sentenced to for admitting guilt to sexually molesting an underage.
It's really clever,
Yeah,
honestly.
it
Just give it a
was good.
watch.
Yeah.
okay, awesome.
Auntie Donna with a Y.
Yeah, awesome.
Alex?
I've been watching I've been watching a Korean film.
What?
Like no, I've kind of got lost a little bit in a few Korean films, and it's called Ode to My Father, and I'll tell you now, I've never ever been broken to pieces by a film before.
Is it about a guy who watches Marvel movies a few months after release with his father?
Exactly, that's the one. No,
It's
like
so personal.
I ordered takeout. I ordered pizza, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch, you know, Ode to My Father.
I like the build-up. I can picture
Yeah,
it.
and I'm like, there, I'm eating my pizza, and like it's a
What
whole
were you wearing?
pizza. I was kind of wearing a tracksuit, but I was kind of chilling.
You were relaxed. You weren't expecting to
Yeah,
cry.
yeah, and I was in my sort of like bouncy chair, you know, so sort of like just rocking back and forth.
This doesn't sound like a description of watching a film. This sounds like a description of something else.
I was watching
I
the
was
film,
sitting there
but
in my clothes, bouncing back and forth on the chair.
and I had a glass of lemon and lime as well, which was kind of cool to wash it down.
Was that sparkling or still?
Sparkling,
Okay,
always
okay.
sparkling. Yeah, it's kind of like a.
It's the only way to enjoy a
replacement.
Korean film, isn't it?
Exactly. But like there's so many scenes that make you cry in this film, and it just builds up and builds up to the bigger cry. And at the end, I was just sat there with like pizza in my mouth, just crying and crying and like it got dark as well, like because long summer nights, it was like sort of like 9:30, 10 o'clock. It got really dark, so I was essentially sat in the pitch black, watching this life story of this dude, and just crying my ass off. And I've never ever been broken before like that. I've teared up, but I was completely and utterly broken. So,
have you seen the opening of Up? Pixar's Up.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it was sad. But this film just gets you. It like pulls you in. Like it's funny. It pulls you in, and it makes you care about the characters. And then it just sort of like gets right into your freaking heart, man.
That'd be a great future episode. Films that make you cry.
Yeah. Completely destroyed.
I'm teaching short films at the moment, and I showed the short film Cargo, the one that they made, a Martin Freeman film.
Okay, yeah.
And I've not watched that film since I've had a little girl, and because it's about a guy and his little girl, my kids, I had to walk out the room because I was just running with tears in the room. It just got to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite cathartic, isn't it, to have that cry moment?
I know.
You've changed, Sam. You've changed.
I've softened, haven't I, as a father?
I don't cry because I'm a man.
Dude.
I never cry.
Do you remember that last episode where we talked about the house bunny?
Luke's Hillary's Franken
I
boys
literally
don't
cry at everything. It takes nothing to make me cry. I once cried at Blue Planet because there was a whale on the screen, and I just couldn't believe it. The majesty of this whale, and I just started.
Didn't you cry when you read? I linked you some NASA news. Didn't know that they're going to do a new lunar landing. Didn't
I cried at that. Yeah, there was the announcement that they're going to set
Renew
up a
lunar
permanent
exploration.
base. On
It was a
the
really
moon.
cool video.
And I just started crying.
Hashtag Project Gateway.
Are they sending the prisoners there?
No.
It's not Australia too.
Yeah.
That's picture sequel.
Right, well, so we've got Chernobyl,
cool.
we've got Ode to My Father, we've got some Australian sketch comedy.
Anti-Donna.
I've been watching, I watched Suspiria, the remake, 2018 remake, by Luca Guadagnino. No.
What else did he do?
That was a perfect
He
pronunciation.
did.
He's doing something else, isn't he?
He did some other good stuff.
Which Luke knows off the top of his head.
Luca, let me, I'm just remembering this.
Type.
Oh, yeah, I remember it's in LMDB, which is Luke's movie database.
In your head.
Yeah.
In my head. He has also done some other films, such as Call Me By Your Name.
That's it. Call Me By
Which
Your
is
Name.
one
That's
that
what we
did
did
really
at the beginning
well.
of this episode. We said our names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
our name,
exactly.
yeah.
That's why I did
We
it. It
planned
was
that
because I knew the
deliberately,
name
yeah.
of this film. That's why I did it. It was called Foreshadowing, Alex. It's a movie thing. And he did A Bigger Splash, which is...
Was that the
that's
Splash sequel?
The sequel to
It's the
Splash
sequel
with
to
Tom Hanks.
Daryl Hannah's Splash.
I think so,
But she comes
yeah.
back and she's just 9 foot.
No,
and
she's-
everyone
She's
just
about
doesn't
300
understand.
pounds.
No, it's part of the Godzilla universe. She's going to
Bigger
fight
Splash.
King Ghidorah later. Just giant naked Daryl Hannah.
Oh, brilliant. But no, I'd seen the original, the Dario Argento Suspiria, and I liked it. I didn't love it as much
There's
as
some
everyone
incredible
else
moments in it,
like
aren't
it.
there? It's very visual.
Very brilliant. But this new one just stuck with me. It's a real fantastic. It's clever. It's original. It pays tribute to a lot of sort of 70s horror films, and it's just off-putting. I think
Yeah,
the
it's
nearest.
good at building the tension, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the nearest thing I can sort of compare it to recently is like Hereditary, which has got all the praise in the world. But for some reason, Suspiria's actually got a lot of hate online.
badly
People don't
received,
seem to like it, and I don't know why.
I think
'cause-
people just see the word remake and just automatically
Yeah, remakes don't have to be bad.
write it off.
No. I mean, this is proof that a remake can,
That's on
can
our
be
list
really
of future
good.
episodes, isn't it? Like good remakes as well.
I mean, I would never stop remakes from happening. Just you have
Pick
to
the
have
right ones.
You have to have a lot of
Do
crap
it right.
for one to stand out and be good. But I mean, we've said
It's on my
before, like
Amazon list.
things like
I
The
mean,
Thing and The Fly. They're some of the best films ever made.
Maybe-
And they're remakes.
Well, look, The Thing.
There'd be nothing
Scarface.
to watch at the cinema if there
Exactly,
weren't any
yeah.
remakes. Like almost nothing.
Yeah, true.
Like,
But I think Suspiria could be up there as one of the greatest remakes of all time.
yeah,
Bold
So,
words from
it's
Luke.
2.5 hours,
cool.
but it is split up into 6 chapters
Alex,
and an epilogue.
Alex might
So-
need a couple of sparkling lemon and limes for that
Yeah,
one.
I think I could get them pretty fast, man. Like you challenge
I'll
me.
just maybe take a picture with you.
I'll take a pic, like a photo.
A picture.
Oh, like
A large jug.
Oh, okay, cool.
A large jug.
Yeah, I'll take a large, like jugs, like 2 jugs.
2 jugs.
Such a
cool.
manly podcast talking about large
Lads.
jugs. On that laddie moment.
Bigger than Bill.
That's what we've been watching this week. Go check them out.
You're invited to my party.
Find out how good you are.
Eat one lousy foot, they call you a cannibal.
So this week we are asking, well, we're not asking, we are demanding that each of us pitched a movie sequel, i.e. a film that was never made. It could be a prequel, could be something else.
I've got this completely wrong. I thought we were just pitching a sequel, like, Fast and the Furious 3.
Yeah, I've got some
Drift,
high-level movie execs in. So, I mean, to be fair, we've already kind of pitched one this episode that was amazing, which was A Bigger Splash starring Daryl Hannah, which could only be made today with today's CGI advancements to
And
make
the
her
Gods of
look
the
10
Universe.
foot tall. Huh?
And the Gods of the Universe, which is currently launching, so
Gods of the Universe.
I think she should be part of that.
What's Gods of the Universe?
Like Godzilla, King Ghidorah, King of Monsters.
Oh, is that what it's called? That
Giant
movie
Daryl
universe?
I
Hannah.
think so, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, that's what I'm calling it.
I want to go see that this week.
Could be alright.
Yeah, could be good.
I'm in Wales. I
Can't
don't
be
think
any
it gets
worse
other films,
than
though.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Aladdin's been great. Have you seen the original Aladdin? It's all animated.
I don't like the original Aladdin.
I want to see a live action sequel. Are you looking forward to the live action Lion King?
Stop talking about things you want to see. Right, we're pitching a sequel.
Sorry, I don't like
right,
Aladdin.
each of us is
I
going
like
to
the concept
be.
of live action.
I like the Robin Williams. Right, sorry, Luke. Carry on.
Sequel, pitch.
If you want to pitch an Aladdin sequel,
We need
that is
Aladdin 4, don't
completely
we?
Wait
fine.
your
Jafar's
turn.
Revenge.
When it's your turn. So, we're all going to have a chance to pitch our sequel, brainstorm, share our ideas. I think we're going to have to come to some kind of consensus at the end of the episode as to whose sequel should get made officially.
Mine.
And it's obviously going to be mine.
I think mine should get made.
I think mine's got a chance of already being made.
I don't think mine's going to win, but I think it should get made.
I want
Well,
to.
we obviously all think that because that's the whole, that's the whole point of the episode, Alex.
I just came up with an idea for a sequel that I just didn't want to see.
Yeah, that's it. Nutty Professor 3,
Did they make a
There's
sequel
the
to Nutty
three. That's already a
Professor?
3.
The Clumps 2.
There's Clumps 2. There's Clumps 2.
Yeah, there's 2.
That means there's a third Nutty Professor. That's Nutty Professor 3, isn't it, really?
What?
There's Nutty Professor. There's Nutty Professor 2, the Clumps. Isn't there a Clumps 2?
No.
You sure?
I've just invented that right now.
I'm
I was
sure
just
that's
so
already a thing.
convincing with my pitch. That was my pitch. I won.
I'm
No.
sure there's a Clumps 2.
Who are we going to start with?
I'm thinking of Big Mama's house.
Rock,
Forget
paper,
that's mine,
scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rob, start us off. Sorry, I'm hosting
Okay.
this week. What I say goes. Go. Right.
So I found this quite tough. Not necessarily thinking of a story, but narrowing down the sequel that I wanted to see. So I had quite a few films that I shortlisted to come up with an idea for, which I guess we'll go through that at the end.
Yeah. No. Go through some of the ideas you had. Have you got any?
So this is a list of films that I started with before fleshing out an idea. So, Fifth Element,
Okay. Like the
Sixth
sixth
Element.
element.
The Sixth Element, yeah.
What,
Yeah.
So Fifth Element's love. What's the sixth element? Like anger.
Sodium.
Is that actually the Sixth Element?
Xenon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. Need to wake up again, don't they?
These are just films
Yeah.
that...
These all just sound like good options. for a
That's
sequel.
one that's just like everyone's wanted for years, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's been rumours about it. It's just never happened.
Francium.
Francium.
I think
Is it
Francium's,
Francium?
Francium's the sixth element and the first row of the periodic table. Sixth.
If you've got problems with drugs, talk to Frank.
Yum.
Do you remember that advert?
Sorry, yeah, Hocus Pocus 2. Yeah.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Willow.
That's
Ugh.
happening.
They're doing that, aren't
That's
they?
happening, yeah.
Are they?
I don't think
Ron Howard's option.
I don't remember.
Okay, it's a good job I,
don't
didn't
remember
choose
it
that
well.
one
I
then.
don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Essentially, it came down to the one that I chose. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ooh, snap.
CGI Bob Hoskins.
This is good.
No, well,
CGI Bob Hoskins. I'm not doing it unless he's in it.
Cartoon
The-
Bob Hoskins would be better. 2D
Cartoon
drawn.
Bob
2D
Hoskins.
animated.
I'm Bob
drawn.
Hoskins.
it's going to be a little bit darker than the original because the title that I came up with for the sequel was Who Killed Eddie Valiant?
Oh man,
And he's a toon.
that sounds amazing. Oh man, I
So-
think I'm in for a tougher battle this episode than I thought.
That's good.
Who killed Eddie Valiant?
Okay, so at
I'm
the
impressed
end,
that Rob remembers the name Eddie Valiant more than anything.
Yeah.
at the end
Yeah,
of
Rob's a dipshit.
well, I watched the last 10 minutes of Who Framed Roger Rabbit earlier
Yeah.
before I came up with the story.
That was
So-
a horrible death, wasn't it?
So Judge Doom gets crushed in
Yeah.
the warehouse at the end.
Yeah.
And then Roger gives a speech where he bequeaths Toontown back to the Toons.
Yeah.
And then it finishes. That's where it finishes.
Yeah.
So the start of the sequel will be Roger and Jessica getting married
Yeah.
after the film.
And they're waiting for the best man to arrive. And he
No,
doesn't arrive.
Eddie's the best man. He's not.
He's alive. How are you going to do that?
We're going to have to use some sort of CG technology for this.
We've seen
somehow.
Captain Marvel.
Right,
You're
listen.
not-
I reckon if we shave Danny DeVito
was
just
thinking
get a
Danny
voice
DeVito.
actor.
Give him a British accent.
Yeah, get a voice actor just
Danny
dub in.
DeVito can do voices.
Yeah, yeah. Get Danny DeVito to do it.
You
Yeah,
could get Sean Connery to
yeah.
do
Danny
the
DeVito.
accent.
I think Danny DeVito
You know who
agreed to
does-
do this.
You know who
as
does
well,
a great
so that's
Cockney?
fine.
Is Dick Van Dyke. He does a great
Yeah,
Cockney
Dick Van
accent.
Dyke's
Hello,
famous.
I'm Dick Van Dyke.
We'll get Dick
I'm
Van
a
Dyke
Cockney.
to dub Bob Hoskins. No.
Danny DeVito.
I think you should. Well, for continuity, they should probably go back and
don't
dub Bob Hoskins in the
Sam
original
DeVito.
one. Yeah. Sorry, Rob. Carry on.
Okay, so I wrote a brief synopsis.
This is great.
The Toons go back to their carefree ways in a Toontown now untroubled by Judge Doom and the Weasels. Months later, mere days after the biggest wedding in Toontown history between Roger and Jessica, Eddie Valiant, who was Roger's best man, gets killed by a falling Acme 10-ton weight, which drops mysteriously onto his car when leaving a bar one evening. Roger, with the help of Jessica, Benny the Cab, the Toons, and Eddie's younger brother Charlie, played by Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Why Gary Oldman? He didn't have it, but it was Valiant and Valiant, wasn't it? He was sad about the death of his brother in the original.
Yes, there's a third brother.
Is Gary Oldman.
So this is the third.
There's a third
Brother.
Valiant
There's always a
brother
third
who was
brother.
cut out of the business.
So Valiant, Valiant, and Valiant, but like they didn't like the third Valiant.
Yeah, he was
so...
like they cut ties.
Gary
with-
Oldman. I think Robbie said that he was also a midget brother, so he's gonna be playing a Tiptoes Gary Oldman role.
Maybe.
So he's playing a dwarf. Gary Oldman's playing a dwarf. Okay.
So essentially, it's a film noir where they're finding Eddie Valiant's killers.
Yep. Love it.
That's it.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
pretty,
I'm sold.
pretty,
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So
We could update it with modern characters. Rick and Morty could pop up.
it'd be
and
really
make it
interesting to have. Yeah.
Well, now
like-
Disney have got. Was it Disney that did the original Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No,
modern.
I'm-
Simpsons, haven't they now?
I think it was Warner Brothers, wasn't
Because
it?
the thing is, they had to come to a massive amount of deals with both Warner Brothers and Disney because, like, Mickey and
Well, they're
Bugs,
all in it, yeah.
they had to have equal screen time. That's why they're in the scene together, and Daffy and Donald as well.
Okay.
So there was a lot of sort of negotiating with all the different studios. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who did that?
Yeah, I thought
Studio?
licensing might be an issue, but I'm sure it's.
I
nothing
mean,
that-
obviously, as this goes ahead, and it's definitely 100%
it's
made,
100% sequel.
we are going to have to consider the licensing and who's involved. What would be great is to start seeing like the emergence of the CGI characters and seeing Buzz Lightyear and
gonna
things
happen,
walk
isn't it?
around. Like,
Yeah.
so you've got real life, 2D, and CG,
So the 2D,
all in one.
so the 2D characters gonna complain that the CGI characters are stealing their jobs,
It's in their jobs,
their
yeah.
livelihoods.
Yeah, they want to build a
yeah.
wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Roger
Good
Rabbit
side
painted
plot.
himself
I
orange.
like it.
Roger Rabbit painted orange with his ears in like a little trumpet whip.
That'd be brilliant. Yes,
sold.
it's satirical.
That could be a
really
good
good
scene.
idea. I'm not sold on the Gary Oldman cast, even though he's one of
Yeah.
my favourite actors of all time.
Well, the only
And,
reason
and the
that
whole brother element. I thought
think-
there was going to be like, why does he need to be a brother?
I honestly think you don't even need to show Bob Hoskins. Hoskins doesn't come to the wedding. His brother, Danny DeVito, playing Hoskins' brother, comes in and says, yeah, he's disappeared, we need to find him, and then you don't even need to worry about CGI Hoskins.
the
the
pure
wedding
reason I
doesn't actually
chose
happen.
Gary
Yeah.
Oldman
The
was
wedding can't happen until they find him, and in the end we get a Toon Valiant,
it was just the accent. That's the only reason I
that it?
chose Gary Oldman
because he can do accents.
because he's
Yeah.
British.
Because he's
How
London.
about we have Gary Oldman's sister, Big Mo? She was recently in Hellboy, like, and she can do a Cockney accent.
She looks more like Bob Hoskins than Gary Oldman does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah,
Female protagonist, Rob. Come on, you're living in 2001.
I know.
You're like in Toontown mentality, man. You need to come
sorry.
up to need to come into CGI mentality, man.
You
Like,
know what?
Progressive.
I would love a sequel to Who Framed Roger
I think it's
Rabbit
time. It's
in
time.
any shape or form.
It's one of those where it's
It would
kind of
sell.
weird that it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Like you
We're,
think about all the
we're
other
getting a
films.
Space Jam like next year, I think,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
LeBron James.
LeBron.
could we see more of the baby? I kind of want.
Can we get
him
more
to be a
of-
character?
All the characters have just stayed the same. They don't age,
Yeah,
do
they
they,
don't age,
Toons?
no.
No.
You know Roger Rabbit? The bit that used to terrify me as a kid was when Bob went looking for Jessica Rabbit, and it was like her lookalike. It was a scary woman.
Yeah, the scary.
That
sort of
terrified
fake
me as a
one.
kid. She gave me nightmares.
You could have like some sort of like plot then if the Toons don't age, like the death could be sort of like
They can't handle it.
somehow like it could somehow just be like a conspiracy, like the human or the non-toon, non-CGI, non-animated world, like the real world people trying to use Toons to find some like anti-aging sort of formula, And maybe
Like-
Bob Hoskins was onto it,
An
and that's
Avatar thing.
why he got killed. You know.
What you know? What this is morphing into some kind of grotesque David
Chinatown.
Cronenberg body horror, like with a scientist experimenting in a lab, and like he's just mutating into half cartoon, but it's like the thing. It's It's like video drama.
Forget it, Eddie. It's
disgusting.
Toontown.
Yeah.
You got to.
So David Cronenberg directing Who Killed Eddie Valiant, a body horror in which a man, Gary Oldman, becomes a toon. That sounds amazing, Rob. That's an amazing pitch that you've just done.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you win, actually.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
taken this anywhere near as seriously as Rob.
Right, I think we started off really strong.
Yeah, damn.
Right, yeah. Any suggestions, guys? Anything else we've changed?
We've just said cast Big Mo.
Cast Big Mo instead of Gary Oldman.
I would go for Big Mo, even though I love Gary Oldman. It's just a weirder choice.
And Eddie Valiant doesn't even appear in the film because he's already dead, apart from in cartoon.
Plus, you don't want to drop too much dollar on an actor.
Yeah,
I
that's
wonder
why-
it like.
I don't think we could get like a Grand Moff Tarkin budget, so I think we just animate him. He's dead.
So is a toon born when an animator draws them?
Yeah.
I mean, you can kill
I
a
think
toon by
so.
rubbing
We
them
could see the
out.
birth of one. So if they were to draw a cartoon version of Eddie Valiant, would it be a
That's what
new
I
Eddie
think happens.
Valiant,
That's how they solve it. They
or
find
would
they-
it just
Would
be?
it have his characteristics
His character.
and
a
memories?
bit like a
But
Lego
that's
movie
it, but
with
then no
someone's
one would
building
die.
everything?
That's immortality.
Like
Yeah.
if you're cloned, it's not you, man. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
it's
if
like-
they draw
yeah.
Eddie Valiant, that's how they solve it because they draw him. He's it was him, and he points to the person who murdered him.
So that's not really like. It's like in Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't it, with Groot?
Did we
it-
see the cartoons get drawn in the
No,
original?
I
one?
don't think so.
So like, are we now getting into sort of?
I
Like
think it's
religious
assumed that they're
sort
real,
of-
like there's some kind of god creating toons and creating humans.
How does God create humans and toons?
He just uses different types of pen. You know, people who do photoreal drawings. It's just
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
We're just a photoreal drawing.
So
We
we're
will draw
So
it.
it's
that's the
it
twist.
pulls back at the end like Men in Black,
Yeah.
and they're all just on some kid's page. Like it's just
yeah.
yeah. That'd be great. And it's just some kid doodling in a nursery or something.
That was a good Men
Yeah.
in Black tune.
That
was
was
a
good.
good-
Well
yeah,
done,
well
Sam.
done, Sam.
Acapella. That actually,
Yeah.
guys, if you didn't tell, that wasn't just a clip we put in. That was Sam.
Yeah, I'm like Michael
Singing.
Winslow.
Nice, good work. Right then, next up we've got Alex.
Okay, so like, I was thinking a lot about like different sequels that I wanted, and in the end,
Can I just say, sorry, I'm worried that you don't have. Rob had notes
Yeah.
and a synopsis.
no, I got a snooker triangle.
You've got a snooker triangle and a cider in your hand. So we're gonna see how this fares in comparison. But right, let's go.
Okay, cool.
go.
So, like, when I was a kid, it's not this one, but when I was a kid, I really wanted there to be a mask too. You know, like a proper Jim Carrey.
Yeah, there is.
Like Son of the Mask.
Oh, Son of the Mask! You're crazy! Like, that film's not a sequel, that's
Yeah,
just
you know
another
what?
film.
That
innit?
did deserve
Yeah,
a really good
yeah,
sequel,
yeah.
didn't it?
I think.
Yeah.
If Ace Ventura
we
got a
never saw
sequel.
Cameron Diaz put the mask on.
That would have been good.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been, but I didn't. Oh, and then stripping. Well, she's got them like because she's all wet.
Alex, she's not an object.
No, she's
This is
not.
2019.
No,
This is
it would have. No,
2001.
it would have been made in the 90s. It would have been okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. Yeah, it's 90s, it's fine.
Yeah. It's cool, man.
Sexy Cameron Diaz.
Sexy Diaz.
Yeah, because she's quite funny. She's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
really
yeah.
goofy and
Yeah,
comedic
yeah.
anyway, so I think she
Yeah.
would have been really good as the mask.
Anyway, I didn't choose that in the end.
Okay. Well, maybe you're gonna wish you had later on.
I think I might do. And then this the other one that I really thought about, but I think it probably will get made. Would be like a Michael Keaton Batman film, which I think it's almost inevitable that it'll probably happen anyway.
That'll never happen.
Is
Do
this
you-
the
do
one
you
we
not think?
mentioned before?
No.
Old man Batman.
Like
Yeah.
old man, like just stressed out. He keeps trying to retire, and like just there's no other heroes kind of thing, so he just has to keep coming back.
Would it
and,
be like Tim Burton's originals, as in like it's an original story, or would you base it on Dark Knight Returns or something? Like the
Like,
comics?
I'd put it as a straight sequel to the Penguin
Yeah.
film.
Its own original thing.
Yeah.
As in like 20, 30 years later.
Yeah.
I would
It's
love
the
to
same
see Michael
Batman,
Keaton as
yeah.
Batman now.
That would be
amazing.
awesome. And like he's just pissed off, and I think he go like if I was making it, I'd put him like on a kill mission because he knows that he's just getting older
He's gonna
and
kill.
older and older, and the only thing he can do is just kill the bad guys now because.
Who would the bad guy be? Because
maybe-
Joker's dead.
Joker's like old.
Penguin's
No.
dead. Catwoman's off.
No, you could. There's loads of
They
bad
would be in their
guys.
70s
There's
though.
loads of bad guys that
Like
you
new
could put
bad
in there.
guys.
That
Oh,
weren't-
there's a deep
weren't
well.
in the,
Joker
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, like you could have Harvey Dent or the Riddler or
They'd be
anyone
like
like
70
that.
though.
Oh, maybe not Harvey Dent.
If
'cause
you
know
that's,
what?
that's
Right.
Billy.
Billy D. Williams,
Billy
yeah,
D.
that
Williams,
that
isn't
was
it?
the biggest
Yeah,
loss.
yeah.
Well,
Not
no,
having
if you know
Billy
old
D.
Batman, old Two-Face though?
Yeah, why not?
BDD now?
He's
Yeah,
80.
Or
Just
you could
walking very slowly into a bank to rob it.
any of the other characters that weren't in
A
it
young
anyway.
Ra's
Hey, I'm
al
going to
Ghul.
rob your bank, but it's not wheelchair accessible.
Yeah, I would just have it as a rogues gallery. He just kills them all because he knows that no one's going to replace him when he dies.
So Batman's
the only
almost
thing.
the villain.
Batman's essentially you have to question like he's cold blood. He's made the decision that once I'm gone, this is just going to keep.
Do you know what?
happening, You know,
Like, I'm with you. I'm completely with you
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Michael Keaton Batman sequel. I'm sold. Love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And that's a real good contender for Who
Yeah.
Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Batman killing, no.
no,
Eve, no.
no.
It's
Okay,
what
but
ruined the
Was this
Zack
your
Snyder
actual
films
choice, or
no,
was this
no,
just
this wasn't
another
my
talking
choice.
point?
This was my second choice
I
that I
think
was
it could
going to come
happen,
in
old
with.
Batman.
Oh, this isn't it?
No, this isn't it.
We are getting old Batman. Are we getting Jorah from Game of Thrones old Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
kind of
in
like
I think
DC's
it's quite well
Titans.
cast. It's just in a show that I'm never going to watch. Like DC's
Yeah.
Teen Titans, which looks amazing.
So-
Oh, do you know? I was channel flicking the other day
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
saw the name Brenton Thwaites.
Yeah.
I didn't realise he was the one from the newest Pirates of the Caribbean. He plays
Yeah, yeah,
Jack
yeah,
and
yeah,
Elizabeth,
yeah.
what's his Orlando Bloom's son.
What? Jack and Orlando Bloom's son.
Jack and Orlando Bloom's son. There was a deleted scene in Dead Man's Chest where
Arr, we found a way for two men to conceive. 'Tis a treasure.
left alone on an island
That's
with
like the
nothing but rum.
that is the kind of forward thinking that Brenton Thwaites is known for. You know, like
Man
he's-
on
yeah,
man.
Brenton
yeah,
Thwaites.
inception.
So I was really
Yeah,
excited. Yeah.
yeah.
I really like that newest pirate film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I'd
one's
like,
that?
I'd like to see a sequel to that. Salazar.
Oh, it's on Netflix, isn't it? I need to watch
I
it.
Have you
never
not
watched
seen it?
it.
No,
No,
no.
I thought it
It's
was
I
strong.
watched Stranger Tides.
I
I didn't
like
like it.
That,
It fixes. On Stranger Tides is too much Jack. That's the problem.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the main character. They've kind of taken it back to more like the
Is he in
original.
that? Is he in this one?
Jack.
In Salazar's Revenge?
Yeah.
I think they're not going to make any.
Is that the most recent
any
one,
more
is
with
it?
him, are they?
Yeah. And
I enjoyed
I,
it.
you know
I
what?
might watch it then, you know.
I really enjoyed it. It's actually, I only saw it at the cinema. It's a really strong story for Barbosa,
Okay.
who's always been one of my
He's
favourite
probably the best
characters
character.
as well.
Yeah, really strong character.
Like, but yeah. Sorry, but so
Yeah, so-
Batman's not even your choice. That's crazy.
It's your
not-
choice.
Go on,
It's
so
not my. Like,
let's hear what was better than
No, no.
Michael Keaton return as Batman.
No, I think Michael Keaton returning as Batman might actually be the better choice, but the one I went for is just purely out of like, I guess over a decade's worth of frustration and anger, and it's obviously not Last Jedi, but it's what I would do is I would make a rehash sequel. I'd make Aliens 3. But like properly this time.
Holy cow! Is that the one you're upset about? Not Alien Resurrection or anything else that came?
No, Alien
Covenant / Prometheus.
Alien Resurrection's fine because the franchise was ruined by the time they got there. I don't care about
I
anything
don't
else.
think 3 is as bad as everyone's making
No, I think
out.
3's fine.
Look here, Luke.
Man,
look,
you were doing well with
look,
Batman.
look,
you should,
look,
you
look,
should have
3's
stuck.
fine.
look. No, the opening. What I would do, the opening scene of 3 where Newt and Hicks die. That's
a little bit annoying.
That is
Yeah.
a travesty. So what I would do, I would remake
You know,
Aliens
Michael
3.
Biehn made more for that photo than he did for appearing in.
I know, yeah.
Aliens.
But what I would do, I would open the new Aliens 3 with that scene, yeah. But then Ripley sort of like wakes up
And it pulls back. He's like, "We're alive, really, guys?"
No. Ripley wakes up. Old Ripley wakes up, and we realise Aliens 3 was
It
just
was
all a
all
bad.
a-
It was
No.
a bad dream. It
Alex!
was all about Luke. Listen, this is my part of the show. I'm pitching a sequel.
I dreamt my whole world felt like it was directed by a different person.
Yeah, exactly. No. So then you sort of enter like Ripley's old, nothing's happened, Newt's all grown up, but Hicks is like
Who'd be paying old Newt?
It doesn't matter, just some capable
Imogen Poots.
actress.
Imogen Poots.
I've just decided.
Looks like it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
I like
Who'd be
her.
playing old
yeah.
Michael Biehn? Would it be Michael Biehn?
Michael Biehn.
Imogen Poots.
But
in
like
a
you-
wig.
do we say Michael Biehn or Michael Bain?
Thing is, Michael
Bean,
Biehn.
isn't it?
Biehn, I'll go Biehn.
Yeah, I'd have Hicks. I'd have him like super scarred face, still
So
still
I
working.
feel
for the
like
man.
all you're doing is copying what Neil Blomkamp was going to do a few
No.
years ago.
No, because he got acid on him.
Did
can't
you
fix
Google
that, man.
sequels that almost happened and just
Did you
steal
see?
one?
Have you read about this though? About what Neil Blomkamp had done?
I saw that Neil Blomkamp gave up on a sequel a couple
He didn't
of years
give up.
ago.
He was forced to stop
'Cause
because
of-
Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Which adds to my frustration,
Yeah.
which is why I think this
And he-
deserves to be picked.
And this is literally what he was
Yeah.
going to make, wasn't it? He was going to do Alien 3 as if the
Yeah.
others never happened.
But
I
what
would
I
like
would-
to have seen that.
What I would do, I would bring it back to Earth. So like Michael Biehn still working for the man as some aged, sergeant or what. He's not with Ripley or anything. he's just working for the corporation. I think it's Wayland Corporation.
Wayland Yutani.
Yeah, and like it's sort of like a futuristic but kind of fucked up Earth. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a screwed up, like, so just
Blade
feed into
Runner-esque.
the environmental thing. Yeah,
Dystopia.
And then they you know, eventually they bring a sample down of this alien force
to Earth.
They finally do it because that's what they've always been trying to do.
Well in the future.
Because they want to weaponize it, don't they?
They want to weaponize it.
I've never got what they're going to get.
I don't
from
understand
this.
what they're going to weaponize yet.
This is
Same with Jurassic Park. Like, what are you going to do with raptors?
No, not raptors. The worst one is Ankylosaurus.
Yeah.
It's a living tank. Yeah, put it up against a bomb. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to live as long as a tank.
But Vincent
Tear gas.
is a little bit
Boom.
twigged, isn't he? Like, I think we just accept what he says. But
The Xenomorph's pretty. Xenomorphs do alright.
Yeah.
Against guns and that.
I don't know. Have you ever tried one with tear gas? Like, my eyes. Have they got eyes?
Didn't have. Well, I think under that dome.
Is it when
That's
they open
eyes.
their mouth they can see,
Yeah.
maybe? But like, bring it back to Earth. There's going to be like, because obviously there's other colonies or whatever, and basically it's the poor and downtrodden that live on Earth. Kind of like in a sort of kind of what's that film?
Elysium.
Elysium.
So you're stealing lots of Neil
style.
Blomkamp's ideas today.
Is that Neil Blomkamp as
That's Neil
well?
Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Shit.
Alex.
Yeah. No, hear me out.
And then a giant spaceship arrives, and it's
Yeah.
these prawn creatures.
Yeah.
They should have made it.
The only
The
person
more I
that
think
tends
about
to
it,
see-
And then
what
there's
should
a robot
Yeah.
called Chappie who helps Michael Bean.
And I'm thinking soundtrack-wise, just the Antwood all the way through.
I think it'd be a good film, man. Alien
I'm a
3
ninja.
sucks. I should
Wow.
have gone with Batman.
You should-
Yeah. No, and I would
Yeah.
I would follow Ripley's individual journey of survival through this scorched Earth scenario where the aliens have.
I think my
absolutely
issue with
taken
this
over.
is like, same with Terminator, same with Predator. Just stop making them.
Yeah.
You need to just stop making
dead.
aliens and
I think
Predators
Batman.
and
Stop
Terminators.
making Batman.
Just stop making them. Because
I like-
there's too many of it. Like,
I-
just leave the good ones to be good. You don't need to keep
No,
adding.
I get it, and I get it, and I think Terminator. I don't know how you can make Terminator 3. I don't know how you can do that, but with Aliens, I think there's massive scope for an Aliens 3 to be made.
Terminator
like a proper
3,
one.
right? Terminator 3 had the most obvious story on the goddamn planet, and it was never ever done. I thought they might have tried it in Salvation, but they didn't. Just skip forward to the bloody war and the end of the war and the battle that ended the war against Skynet. That's what you do. Remove the time travel, or maybe have it as part of sending people back.
It would have nothing to do with the original two films, though. Essentially, would it? Because you wouldn't have.
Oh,
Like
exactly.
Sarah
Yeah,
Connor, and it'd be a completely
Because
different
I mean,
film.
the one thing that Terminator 3 did right was the idea that Judgment Day was always going to happen, and it had that
you
really
can't
bleak
stop it.
ending, and I really liked that. That was good.
Yeah.
All you can do is make it slightly better, like get mankind in a better position.
But
ready
yeah.
for it.
No. Okay.
Oh man, I thought
You're
that was
wrong.
good.
No, it is good. It's not bad. I mean, it's-
Alex,
to make
if you'd put Bob Hoskins and some tunes in that Alien sequel,
we were all super excited about
Yeah.
it when we heard about it 5 years ago when Neil Blomkamp said it.
Yeah.
So we're all on board.
I was excited about it when Neil Blomkamp.
did you
was
read
on
that
it.
article and just remember it as this was my idea?
This is my idea. It's obvious. Like, it's obvious that anyone who makes Aliens 3, if you don't keep Hicks and Newt alive, then you're not remaking Aliens 3. You can, like...
It's obvious. Neil Blomkamp has said it and said it and said it.
Yeah, so is everyone else, and I'm one of everyone else. Like, it's an obvious that you'd only remake Aliens 3 to bring back Hicks and Newt, and I'm totes on that bandwagon, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I completely...
We want to see their
completely
story.
into it, yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think that would have been
Yeah.
a better film. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea.
I mean, you can only do it. I mean, it would have been perfect if they'd just done a direct sequel when everyone was still young. But you can only do it with them being old people now, can't you?
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, the whole point of this is pitch. I don't want to burst your bubble. This isn't really going to get made. So what year do you want this to have been made in?
It would have been perfect if it was made straight after
Done.
Aliens.
Do you know what I mean? That's the whole point of this. It's like
fantasy
It's
sequel.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Like
Are you
an
alright, Alex?
actual
Do you know where we are? We're not. This is
An
not
actual
a reality.
Ghostbusters 3. Alex thinks he's in front of like Harvey Weinstein.
I do not want to be. In front
You're
of
about to
Harvey
do some
Weinstein.
terrible things to get this sequel to be made.
I got some very feminine qualities, Sam. I don't want to be in front of Harvey
You've
Weinstein.
seen he's settled for 44
I
million.
know.
It's not very much.
There's not much.
No,
Like,
I hope they
kinda
don't.
need to
I hope they
make
don't
an
take it.
example
I
of.
hope they don't take it. I hope they just prosecute for rape and everything.
because
He's a monster.
considering how many women there are, there's like 35, 40
Do you know
women.
that he's been thanked more times than God in Oscar speeches?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
That's
would you
how
thank
it was.
God though? What's you got to do? Unless you were from Toontown or something. You got nothing to be thankful to God for, have you?
Got to do with it.
It's love.
Sam.
Oh, is it a witty?
Sam.
I thought you just didn't know the
Sam
song.
just messed it up. Sam, please save us from Alex.
So, okay, one
Alex's
request.
Neil Blomkamp
One request.
idea.
Can we include the Batman idea as well?
What? Yeah, we'll include Batman murdering everyone.
It's the same film. It starts off as a Batman reboot and becomes an Alien reboot.
What's this ship that's landing? I'm
did think-
gonna kill him.
I did think about like a hybrid Terminator,
Batman versus Alien.
hybrid Terminator alien thing, like Skynet.
They've
no.
crossed over in
Oh,
comics,
no.
haven't they?
No.
I mean,
I've read a Batman comic where he fights the aliens. No, Predators.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a
Batman,
few
Batman versus
crossovers.
Predator was alright, and there's that
Yeah.
short, wasn't there? Batman versus the Alien.
Yeah,
That's quite good.
Dead End or something.
Dead
was
End.
it?
That's
Yeah,
good.
that was really good.
We'll link that. Batman Dead End. That's
Yeah,
a good.
great short.
sequel that could
Batman
happen.
versus the Alien
that
and
sounds
Predators.
insane.
I
It's
think
great.
Luke,
It's
yeah.
aged a little bit,
It
but I
has
mean,
aged,
it's
yeah.
for the time. The production
you got to
value was
watch it thinking
insane.
early 2000s.
Like this
haven't you?
was this is before fan films were kind of what they are today, and it was
Yeah.
really good.
Have you seen, remember the Mortal Kombat fan film with Michael J. White?
Yeah, man, that's
Wish they'd made that.
there's been a Mortal Kombat film announced.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it's Michael J. White. You need to get me more films. He's getting a bit old now, but
I just hope it's the original cast. I want Chris.
why was Michael J. White not Luke Cage? That's such a mistake.
Too old, probably.
Really?
He
doesn't look it.
He doesn't look it, but he's too old.
Shit.
Michael, you shit. Stop aging.
Beyond pleasure. Toxic chemical waste. They're back.
Sam, pitch me a sequel.
I feel like I kind of took Alex's idea. I thought it had to be kind of now and very realistic.
Dude,
and
come on, man.
a sequel that could happen. Like I didn't think, I could set this in like, let's make a sequel at the time to Casablanca, but throw some Ghostbusters in it. Not sure Casablanca would need Ghostbusters.
Casablanca
no
means
ghosts
Ghostbusters. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
It'd be alright.
Yeah, I'd watch
it,
that.
Yeah.
I already pitched you guys before we started recording Schindler's List as a reboot with the list is a list of girls to conquer. It's Zach Schindler, and it's just kind of like a
Like
comedy.
Van Wilder.
Kind of
type.
like Van Wilder. And just, but
Girls to conquer.
This better be made in the 90s, man.
But yeah, it was made in the 90s. I feel like it kind of missed the point of Schindler's List.
If it's made in the 90s, we can laugh about it. It's fine.
About it. But no, I thought that there's not enough Fast and the Furious sequels. And I think we need a second one, or ninth or tenth one. So I'm going to go with the Fast and the Furious sequel.
For reals?
Yeah.
There's already
cool,
like
man.
10?
This one follows on from Fast 8, Fate of the Furious.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
so
even remember which.
I'll explain how Fate
okay.
of the Furious ends. They fought a submarine for a little while.
Yeah.
We had Charlize Theron, because it's Theron to run with Heron. I learned
Yeah.
that the other day. Playing Cypher. She's on the run. Apparently, she's in Athens. They've given Hobbs his job back at the Department of. Well, it's the DSS.
Motor vehicles.
It's the DSS, which is
DMV.
Department of Social
Social
Services.
Social services.
Just-
Yeah, like no
Takes babies
DSS.
away.
He teaches people
Yeah,
how to drive.
I think it's like security services in America, the DSS. So Dominic Toretto, he's made it. He's saved the day. He's a good guy again. He's named his child after Brian O'Connor because his baby's called Brian.
Hello, it's a little girl. What are you gonna name her?
Brian.
Brian O'Connor.
So he's chilling out with his famiglia, which is like most important thing in his life is his famiglia.
Sorry, Sam, I don't understand. I don't speak Spanish like you do.
It means family.
Thank you.
It's kind of Hannah means family, but to him that's what matters most to him, isn't it? His family.
Yeah.
Would you say that anything?
And he likes
means...
to have some beers with the boys.
He likes a beer with the boys.
Out in the
Right,
garden.
beer with
Like,
the
they're
boys.
like a barbecue and a few beers with the boys.
They're literally having a beer with the boys.
yeah,
at the end,
they
aren't
always do
Yeah.
every year.
But would
beer
you
with
argue
boys.
that nothing matters more to him than his famiglia?
Yeah.
Maybe
You're gonna kill his
cars.
family. Sam's gonna kill his family.
Something's going to kill his family.
Oh, shit.
There's a meteorite approaching Earth, or a comet, doesn't matter which one. And he realizes that his famiglia and his car collection are at risk.
Oh, my God.
So,
My
Yeah.
baby girl, Brian O'Connor. My my Chevy.
so he realizes that the only way to fight this meteor is to drive a car at it, because that's how they solve problems, is
Yeah.
to drive cars at them. He builds
Yeah.
a giant ramp.
Yeah.
He gets loads of speed up. He
Not
pushes
by
his
not by
nos.
himself. Like he's got his whole
The whole crew.
Yeah,
or
they
maybe
can
he
go with
tries to do it by himself, and he looks around the last minute, and they're like, "It's too dangerous to do this alone, Dan. We're your family."
They're
We're
all
we're
looking
here
at
for
each other
you."
in the mirror.
And he's like, and he's just one
He sees
single tear
ludicrous.
for the first time in his life. One single tear starts coming out, but then he pulls it back
Pulls
in.
it back in. So he's driving at this ramp. It's a big ramp, and he hits his
Yeah.
nitrous.
Yeah.
And he's got so much nitrous. He gets getting so fast, so fast. He's
Yeah.
going.
So the government provide him with nitrous.
I'm thinking government have got nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay.
They don't even
NASA
know.
doing their thing.
No
NASA
Kurt
have got
Russell.
spaceships. Maybe Clint Eastwood and some people are trying to do some stuff. Like.
But he's just like in a garage.
Yeah, in a garage with a
California.
ramp.
So
Big
does
ramp.
this film run parallel to Armageddon?
I think parallel to Hobbs and Shaw. They're like just solving crime while he's trying to save the Earth.
So was the
This is a
Charlize
meteorite
Theron
getting
one
closer and
the
closer.
last one? Fast 8 was the last one.
That's the last one. And
There's not been a Fast film since.
no.
Until
Hobbs
Hobbs
and
and
Shaw
Shaw.
is the next.
In my
thing coming out.
idea,
Okay.
Hobbs went, "Oh, hey guys, I've just caught Cypher." He's like, "Brilliant, that's put to bed.
Okay.
Solved. This
Okay.
is totally separate."
Yeah.
He's going up this ramp. He's getting higher and higher and higher. And while he's in the air, he like obviously gets his bomb on the meteorite, starts to blow it up, but realizes he didn't bring his sunglasses. Looks directly at the sun, damages his eyes,
Oh,
and he's
snap.
going so fast he just flies off
Yeah.
through a wormhole. Ends up in a distant galaxy with bad eyes.
Yeah.
Gets them fixed.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Where's it going, Alex?
Pitch Black.
It's a prequel to Pitch Black. It's a Pitch Black prequel.
Oh, snap.
And they just turn into the next film.
Right, but the problem is with that, right? Current Vin Diesel looks like a fat auntie, and then young, like Riddick is a badass. So there's a few more changes he went through in that.
I think he gets a bit emaciated in the long journey through space.
Okay, yeah.
And the
there's
sun's
some
powers-
kind of time dilation, relativity.
Yeah.
Affects him. Oh, okay, cool.
That is amazing. Like honestly, that was one of those. I was like, where's this going?
Big ramp.
Yeah.
Does
So
does he save the Earth? Is the Earth saved
Earth's
as
saved,
he's
Earth's
left?
saved. His famiglia are fine.
Does he know about his familia and his
He,
Chevy's
he
being
looks
fine?
back and he sees Ludacris go, like, give him like a little wave from his car. So he changes gear and he hits the wormhole
Okay.
and
yeah.
he decides to save a distant planet
Okay.
because he's thinking one day he'll get his famiglia back.
Yeah.
no, that's probably one of the best movie
Right.
payoffs I think I've
Can
ever
the
been
film
through.
end with Riddick in a space prison just drifting around like Death Race? And it's a pitch black, sort of no one's ever been able to navigate this course because it's pitch black.
And he's got his new
And
eyes.
I love Pitch Black. They should
It's great.
never made any
That's
sequels
why. That's
to
why
that.
it completely
It's great.
overwrites all the Riddick sequels and
Yeah.
prequels and whatever else.
Yeah. I think it was written as an Alien sequel originally, Pitch Black. A sequel to... Much like...
Oh.
Yeah, another link. I think
Same- bringing in the
it
same
was
universe,
written
yeah.
as a sequel to Alien, but like as a
Yeah.
different alien, which is I think is a better way to go rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
having the xenomorph.
I'm a bit
over and
bored with
over
the
again.
xenomorphs. They're alright,
Like
but
xenomorph,
which-
xenomorph.
it's
I
actually
guess
xenomorph.
it depends which country you're from.
Xenomorph.
No, they're Latin American. They're
Yeah.
based on the mine, so it's xenomorph.
Xenomorph.
That's the official
So
pronunciation.
yeah, I mean, I love Pitch Black and it's fantastic, but
Yeah, it's a great
all the
film.
mythology they introduced in the sequels was terrible.
So,
Can you imagine
so
if
Sam's idea.
Can you imagine if
So
all the way
yours,
through-
yours fixed
great.
it.
Imagine
yeah.
if you then you went and watched the film and at the end he's like, "Who are you, Riddick?" He said, "Well, I was a car thief," and he just goes like he's just a car thief from Earth
Yeah.
who went up a really big ramp.
No,
It's
love
not
it.
better than he's
Love
like,
it.
what's he meant to be? He's meant to be some kind of alien god, and he lived on. I don't know. There's so many stupid things. And
Yeah,
this
no,
film
like
does that.
screw the Chronicles. Like I think that's
No one
I think
cares.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a comment. Like apparently he begged Judi Dench to be
Yeah.
in that film, and you can see why he had to beg her because like it was awful.
I think he's got a thing for older ladies because he also begged Helen Mirren to be in a film, didn't he? One of the Fate the Furious films.
Yeah, she was good in that though.
She was good, but I think he
Yeah,
just
The
likes
video
older
game's
ladies.
great. The Escape from Butcher Bay.
Jack and Butcher Bay is great.
Brilliant. You should have just made
That's
that
what it
into a
should be.
film.
It was him just in a max security prison. He had to
Trying to
escape.
get out. Just keep it simple.
That's what
don't,
Pitch Black needs,
Don't
yeah.
make him a Furian and all this
That's a
nonsense.
Furian. Thank you. Have you just googled that?
No. Sam, I know my real sequels. I'm a Furian. The last of the Furians because I'm so furious. I'm so fast. I'm furious. The Fast and the Furian.
See, people had misheard him. They said, "What are you?" And he said, "I'm furious." And they went, "You're a Furian? Okay, you're an alien creature."
So is this? Have we got a title for this film?
It's
now?
Fast and the Furian.
Fast and the Furian. I think it works.
Yeah,
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
Oh
Fast
my
9,
God.
Fate of the Furian.
Sam, at first I wasn't with you, but I've gone on this journey with you, and now I feel like I'm your Paul Walker.
This is yeah. This is the
you
best.
name your child Brian.
It's the best movie payoff like of all time. I think. Like it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
it?
thought that
It's
while I
a
was
shame
walking
it's
around
given away in the
Waterstones.
title now, but
No,
who cares?
no, what we need to do
We could change
is,
that title.
No, what we need to do is not reveal the title of the film.
Yeah.
Just call it Fast.
The new Fast film.
Fast
Yeah,
9,
yeah.
and then afterwards
Yeah.
at the end it says, "You've just watched
The
Fast,
Fast
9,
and the Furious.
Fate and the Furian, Fight the Furian, Night of the
Fight
Furian."
of the Furian.
Night of the Furian.
You just watched Night of the Furian. Really good.
You've just
title.
named all the sequels
Yeah.
to that
Fight
film.
of the Furian, Fast and Furian.
Yeah.
It's a whole trilogy now.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Love it.
This is going to be a tough choice.
Yeah, yeah.
This episode.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I don't think mine's gonna win.
No, well, don't get yourself out.
Yeah, man. No,
get yourself
Sam's
out.
is way better than mine.
Oh man, you know what? I really thought you guys were just going to drop the ball on this, and I thought I've won it for sure, but not so much. Right.
I think we should make a point of saying that, Luke, you wrote a great sequel to a film in year 10.
Well, yeah. One of the ideas that I came up with was I'm obsessed with White Men Can't Jump. Absolutely love White Men Can't Jump, and I came up with 2 ideas for sequels.
Which Alex watched today.
Have you watched it today?
Yeah.
First time.
Isn't it literally the one? It's literally my top 3 all-time greatest films.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay, so like I've got very complicated feelings about it. Like no, really, like
Right,
really.
I'm warning you.
No.
It's
no.
one of the best
Hear me
films
out.
ever
Like,
made.
hear me out.
Alex, just
Maybe-
quickly.
maybe.
Is it better than Point Break?
Yeah, it's way better than.
Maybe
Point
this
Break,
can
yeah,
be
yeah.
what have you
I think
been
that's good or
watching
bad,
next
'cause Point Break's
week.
great.
I should. Yeah, it should be. Like, all I'm saying is,
Top
I
3
was very
films all time.
no, I was very stressed out while I was watching it. But I think the more that I think about it, and the further away I get from it in terms of time, which gives me more perspective on the film, I think I like it more. I think there was a lot of decisions made in that film where I was like, "What the hell are you doing?"
That's the whole
And
point
just,
of it.
Yeah, and that's what I think I'm sort
They're
of
flawed
getting.
characters. They're
So
very
like,
flawed
I'm getting
characters.
it.
So you're Gloria. That's what you are.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
Gloria.
She was great, and so you watch it and you're like,
How many food from the letter Q can you name, Alex?
7 or 8.
All of them.
But she because I was watching it, I'm like,
Quesadilla.
you're like, oh, this dude's like lost
One.
everything, and he's just made so many stupid ass decisions.
Yeah, he's a
But-
flawed character.
But then when you think about it, or when I thought about it, it's kind of like, well, Gloria's gone off and she's gonna she's kicking ass or whatever. But this is what he needed.
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
thing. It's
Yeah.
exactly
Well,
what he
at the
needed.
end,
It was
I
a
think-
bromance. That's the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
point. It's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
love story
I don't
between
know,
a
it's
man.
not even
It's a
that.
bromance.
I think she
film.
realised that there's nothing she can do. No matter how hard she works, he'll always make the same mistakes.
And she left him, which was the right thing
Yeah,
to
he
do.
needs
innit?
to know
Yeah.
that. Yeah, he needs to change, and the only way.
So the first, like, even walking here, I was thinking like, it just keep changing my sort of opinion.
You just got to do what we
whatever.
did when we lived together like 10 years ago. Just watch it every day for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
just
I
keep
think-
doing it. It's
I
so
think-
rewatchable.
I think I watch it at least once a year just to keep.
Oh, I'm
watching
always watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I originally
Yeah,
came
yeah.
up with 2 sequels to that.
Yeah.
Like, so the first one was called White Men Can't Jump 2, Hoop Dreams,
Yeah.
in which Wesley Snipes has gone on to have a really successful. He was signed by like the NBA, and he's had a successful career and all this, that, and the other. Has an injury, throws him out, and it's just sort of like he doesn't know what to do with his life anymore because the one thing he's been good at, he can't do. And like the whole film builds up to, Woody getting him to get back to his roots, go back to the streets and sort of street hustle again, and sort of like understand that he should have always just played for fun.
Yeah.
It was never about, being on the court. And like I wanted it to end with, because them being a bit older, like they played the older, is it the King and the Duck?
King and Duck.
King of the Duck.
Yeah. Them being like the King of the Duck, the legends of the
Yeah,
court,
yeah.
and they come back and play the current best players. I think that'd be great. That
Yeah.
or the other sequel was Black Men Can't Swim.
Yeah.
In which
yeah.
Wesley Snipes tries to start a swimming career.
Just kind of playing up again to racial stereotypes like white men can't jump.
So yeah, but that is not my idea. Okay,
Oh.
although Wesley Snipes is involved in my idea,
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
ready?
Blade
are you
4.
ready?
I was thinking Blade 4.
You
Demolition Men.
gabbling Thunder.
Demolition.
Demolition Men.
Men.
Demolition Men, plural. So,
This is
so,
like the Dark Men
so
sequel. I guess,
let
isn't
me set this up. Let me set this up.
He's one of those Demolition Men, Vin
Right.
Diesel.
In 1999, in the future.
I love future. I love the idea of the future being the past. That's so good.
In 1999, 3 years after. No, this is the past.
And it's 1999. You can get away with loads of shit. in the
Oh god, you
90s.
can get away with
Yeah,
loads.
yeah.
This
You can't-
sequel, right? Putting in
In
context.
that 1999, you
Demolition
can't even
Man
say the
came
P
out
word,
in
can you?
1993.
Yeah.
My sequel was made in 1995.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
made back then. So 1999, 3 years after John Spartan is put on ice.
Was he iced at the end?
No.
Originally.
I get
No,
you.
in the original, John
it's
Spartan was
set in
put,
between.
Yeah,
I get you,
this
yeah.
is it starts in the past. It's
Yeah,
3 years. Yeah. We have Sergeant. I'm trying to come up with a tough action name. I'm trying to think of right. We've got a character played by Arnold Schwarzenegger here, guys.
Sergeant Fist.
So I've got Sergeant Quentin Smash, Sergeant Jack Toughman, Sergeant Hank Terminator, or Sergeant Fred Treadmill. And I'm
I like Fred Treadmill
I
the
think you
best.
should call him Striker Treadmill.
Striker. Oh, Hank Striker.
Hank Striker.
Right, we've got Sergeant
Because he
Hank.
beats his wife.
Sergeant Hank Striker, who is He's like top military brass, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
Just to
bear in mind.
clarify, you might be getting to this. Apologies if you are. Just say no. Are you going to talk about like where in the kind of cleaning up of the world future they are at 95? Is it the same kind of world?
Right.
in the
Okay.
future?
The original took place. John Spartan was put on ice in 1996,
And
and then he woke up in 2032.
Okay.
Okay. So this starts in 1999 when the world's still a dirty,
close
grimy
after,
place, right?
Before the big one.
Before
happened.
the big one. And John Spartan is on ice now, so criminals and terrorists and everything, they're just running wild because the Demolition Man's gone.
Yeah.
Sergeant Hank
Striker.
Fred Treadmill, played by Arnie, him and his like military unit are having to go around and stop all this global terrorism. There is a massive terrorist, and he's played by Charles Dance, because of
Nice.
course he is.
Has he got the eye from Last Action
From
Hero?
Last Action Hero. What can his name be? Like, I don't know.
Tywin
Lannister.
Lannister.
Oh.
Marvin Scary.
So Marvin Scary, played by Charles Dance, he manages to frame Sergeant Fred Treadmill, much in the same way as Running Man, like he gets framed, and he's also put on ice, and Charles Dance manages to escape like a massive sort of bust, and he goes on and manages to live into the future as an old man.
Was he iced?
He was not iced. So Charles Dance
He
was
escaped
young.
the ice.
He escaped the ice.
Did he have one of those hand warmers
No.
in his pocket?
Yeah, he was just never caught.
Okay.
So he laid low.
Okay. So Wesley's frozen
So
at this point.
So Wesley's frozen, Stallone's frozen,
Arnie's
and now
frozen.
Arnie's just been frozen. But Charles Dance, he's not been caught. He's just laying low in the future, and he's going to live. He's going to go forward in time at the speed of
Time.
1 year per year.
Okay. Just
at
living.
He's just going to live.
He's going back to the future.
Cut to 2033. Okay. Back,
That the original.
back where the original film ended. We now have John Spartan, who's
How
now
did-
the chief of
How
police.
did Wesley die? I
Huh?
can't remember how he died.
I can't remember how he died.
Shot in the face.
Badly. I should have rewatched this before I wrote this. It was just like one of those moments came to me. Right, John Spartan's now the chief of police in the year 2033. He and his partner, Lenina Huxley, are busier than ever. The underground gangs are all starting to emerge. After the end of the last one, there was, what's his name?
The guy
Dennis.
who tried to hypnotise Wesley.
No.
What was his name?
Oh, the kind of the grubby guys who are hiding.
Grubby
in the
guys, all the grubby guys, all the underground guys,
The
they're coming out. You know, they're taking over. Crime's on the rise. This once crime-free utopia is becoming more and more like the world John Spartan left in 1996, and he's having to train a new wave of police officers who can deal with it. As the world begins to decline though, we've got Charles Dance, who's now an old man, sees an opportunity because his life isn't what he wanted it to be. He wants some power. He wants to get back.
He wants to get on some killing.
So he recruits a gang, one of these underground criminal
grubbies.
gangs of grubbies. They go to a science facility that dealt with the cloning, the freezing. I've just given it away. The freezing.
He's just bringing our Ram Balboa idea to
Oh shit! We'll have to come up to that. Right. So during a massive bank robbery, this is all happening at the science facility stuff is going on. There's a big bank robbery, some crime. John Spartan's surprised when he realizes he takes down some gang members, pulls off the mask. It's Wesley Snipes.
Oh shit.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's really sort of taken aback, and out of nowhere, bang, back of his head, another Wesley Snipes. And then he looks around. He's surrounded by 5 Simon Phoenixes who have all been cloned by Charles Dance, based on this facility. And it's like, holy shit, how am I going to deal with this? Well, thankfully, Sandra Bullock turns up. I've put on some kind of future motorbike helicopter thing, and it's cool. And they escape.
She can play that now because she hasn't aged, does she?
Well, yeah, she could just be, yeah. So the crime goes up. This gang starts taking over the city. Charles Dance manages to clone about 50 Simon Phoenixes, who's like the world's best criminal.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
Was he the best criminal? I
At
don't
the
think
same
he's the
time,
best.
right, John Spartan's daughter, like, they go and hide there for a bit because they can't go back to the police station because it's been... John Spartan's daughter, who is played by Meryl Streep, because
Young Meryl Streep.
she was originally going to be in the sequel idea. They wanted Meryl Streep to play Stallone's daughter because she's aged and she's older.
Yeah.
So she remembers that back in the day there was a big sort of army man who was involved in bringing down global terrorism after John Spark was put on the ice. Who was that? Sergeant Fred Treadmill. So they go to the prison facility. They have to break in and defrost Sergeant Fred Treadmill because he's the only other man who could help to stop all this crime.
Yeah.
Right. This is where it just kind of descends into madness. Hang on, let me just read the paragraph as I wrote it. Then the end is just awesome 90s action with these two guys kicking ass until the final battle. So Arnie and Stallone in 1995, their peak, they're just kicking the shit out of loads of Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And then they look around, all the Wesley Snipes are gone, and then just out of like the final cloning booth step another Sly and another Arnie. Arnie has to fight Sly. Sly has to fight Arnie. Obviously, both the good ones win because they're both better than each other. And then they beat Charles Dance. And it says, then they win. And Arnie clones his own Sandra Bullock and they all walk into the sunset. Demolition Men, 1995.
That sounds like that is like that sort of like insane like sequel.
That can't be that
upgrade sort of like.
I just wanted to raise the stakes with everything. I was like, what would like 10-year-old me wanted to have seen? Demolition Men.
Yeah. I don't think Expendables gave me what I was wishing for with those.
No.
Not at all.
It was not the sum of its parts. No. This would be Sam. We've got 50 Wesley Snipes.
Could we not have it that?
Two Arnies and two Slys.
Could they not clone themselves? And you'd get like a commando Arnie.
I was thinking that.
And then one of them's like, hey, we need someone who can punch things. And he comes out, he's like, I wanted to be a boxer as a kid. Let's clone me from
different age Slys and Arnies. Yeah, you could do. What do you think? Demolition Man? Demolition Men?
You know what? The trailer would be awesome for that.
Oh my god!
It?
Can we just put one together?
I think we could play the characters.
I think you could.
You'd play a good Wesley Snipes.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
but I feel like this is the best film that's ever not been made.
No. I think you could make that film today.
Yeah.
I think you could make that with old Arnie and old.
Yeah.
Old
I think
Sly.
you could just set it after and be like, they got frozen again because they did too many naughty things.
I don't think it has to be a dream.
Too many naughty things. We're gonna put you on the ice. You've done too many naughty things, John.
You're not using the seashells. You keep on swearing into the machine and wiping your bum with paper.
Seashells, and then we'd have Arnie being
pipes.
like, "What? I went to go to the toilet, and what are the seashells?"
Yeah, you're not using the toilet right. We're gonna put you on the ice.
And then Sly will be all like, "Oh, I can't do Sly now. I can't go from Arnie to Sly." Yo, I know how to use the seashells now because it's 2033, and I've already been using it for like a whole year. I got a dirty bum. The comedy would be amazing. Charles Dance would be brilliant.
You'd have to have both Sly and Arnie like having different sort of like methods.
Oh
like,
god,
this is my way to do it.
It's
like,
a pissing contest, the whole film. Yeah. Until they're finally at the end, they have to work together to beat lots of Wesley Snipes.
Could we cross this into an Escape from New York as well?
What? Oh no!
Bring Kurt Russell into it.
That's Demolition.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Demolition Women at the end. Oh,
can Dominic Toretto come out and have a wormhole?
Dominic Toretto comes back in his car.
I'm back.
Where's my Famiglia?
or like right at the moment when they're surrounded by 50 Wesley Snipes, Batman just comes in and breaks all their necks. He's like, I've changed now.
I'm old, man.
I've got to finish them all
old. People change. People get angry. People get disillusioned with life.
And then we pan back, and it's just another cartoon in the Toon Writers. Should we link all of our sequels into one film?
This is a tough one. So okay.
Sum it up.
Should we sum it up? So Sam, obviously you're gonna vote for your own. But whose sequel would you like to see the most out of mine, Alex's, and Rob's?
You can choose either Aliens or Batman.
Out of mine, Neil Blomkamp's and Rob's.
I like them all. I love Neil Blomkamp. He's a good director. And I love Demolition Man, but I think I'd rather see a Roger Rabbit sequel.
So we've got one for Roger Rabbit, yeah. Rob, same question for you. Out of Sam's Fast and the Furious.
Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious.
Furious and Fast.
I've got two options. You could choose Batman if you want.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Too Furious, Too Furious.
You've got Batman Alien 3. and you've got Demolition
Or The
Man.
Mask 2.
Oh, it's tough. I'm going to go with Sam's purely for the sequel to prequel payoff.
Can you imagine the moment if you didn't know it was coming?
That would be the biggest twist of all time.
You'd have to be really careful with the trailer.
Oh yeah, wouldn't tell any. None of that. you'd just be like, there's a missile.
Which I think would make
there's a
it
meteorite
bomb.
coming. I need to save my Famiglia, my car collection. They're all polished.
Famiglia.
I've just washed it and they're perfect.
You'd
I've
have,
just finished
yeah,
vacuuming
you'd
the
have
Chevy
to sell it purely as a Fast and Furious
in
sequel.
space. Yeah.
And
No,
then
you
just
don't
not
even
have
mention
anything else.
space, do you? In the
Just-
promotion, it's just like just Fast and
Do you even
Furious,
need,
isn't it?
a
Like,
trailer for Fast 9? People didn't go and see it, aren't they?
yeah.
Just don't even like every just all of a sudden, my corneas, and a wormhole appears, and that's it. And he's in a prison cell.
Yeah, so
And
for
20
the
years younger.
And then it's an hour and 20 into the movie, and that's when the title comes up. Boom! Fate of the Furian. And it's like, yeah.
for the payoff, I'm choosing
We don't
Sam's.
even wrap up the Earth, so they just die.
Alex, are you gonna go for Roger Rabbit, Fate of the Furian, or Demolition Man?
I think just the way that I felt when I figured out what Sam was talking about, like that is the,
Payoff.
I don't think I've ever.
Oh, it's a Fast and the Furious sequel.
I know. But like just the way that I felt when I realised what was going on.
my
I haven't
God.
felt like that watching a film for a long time.
I love that
Like-
you watched my film. As I said,
Yeah.
I painted such a vivid story.
I've got
for
no
you.
votes for Demolition Man. Guys, you've left me the same as Alex with
Oh no!
nothing.
If you vote for me, you finish last. I think.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm really going to vote for you then. Yeah? Right. You know what? I think I'm going to have to be on board. I'm going to have to vote for Fast and the Furious. So we've got a bit of a landslide victory for the Fast and the Furious.
You know what?
Two Fate, two Furian.
There's not enough Fast and the Furious sequels, are there? We need more.
There's not enough Pitch Black prequels either. Like,
No.
it's filling a massive gap in the
Consumer
market,
void, I
isn't
think.
it?
Yeah.
And I think we're all ready to see this film. So this film is now pretty much greenlit, and you can expect to see it in cinemas.
I reckon if I found Netflix,
summer
they'd give me-
2020,
they'd give me
2021.
20
Amazon
million.
Prime have like literally anything. So
They've given Lord of the Rings like $1 billion.
oh yeah,
So give us at least 50
I
quid
reckon we
or
get
something.
200 mil.
yeah.
Especially if we have Vin Diesel.
As soon as
attached.
this is launched, I'm
We need
sure
to pitch
the
it now.
Have
the
you read the
emails
stuff
gonna come
about Vin
flooding in.
Diesel and Hobbs and Shaw? He's really annoyed that
He's
not
really
in.
annoyed.
So if I say there's a Fast and the Furious sequel, he's in.
It's
Yeah,
because
he
it's
didn't
got
read the scripts.
it's got actual stars in that people want to see. That's the problem with that. Like it's yeah. So yeah, Fast and the Furious. Well done, Sam. That's a nice one for you.
Completely.
Wow.
I thought of that in Waterstones this morning. Just
I feel as though like there's some kind of people's champions like Demolition Men to be won here. So when this episode launches, we're going to stick an online poll on. You've got to vote for Demolition Men, please, or you can vote for Neil Blomkamp, Alex's Alien 3,
Slash
or
Batman.
Who
Slash
Killed
Mad
Eddie
Bass.
Valiant,
Yeah.
or Fate and the Fury. You can vote for those, but vote for Demolition Men like 50 times, one for each.
or you
Wesley
can vote
Snipes.
for the Fate of the Furians 9, whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
I think if we put a poll on, and I think if it got traction, I think mine would win because I think honestly,
What? Because people think that they're voting for someone else's idea. That's
people
why.
think they're voting. No, because
You can even put some concept artwork up for yours.
yeah.
That's brilliant.
I think Neil Blomkamp might have done some test footage as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Brilliant. Right, so Alex has got an idea for a film called Jaws about a big shark that he's going to tell us about next time. Right.
It's called
um,
Teethy.
brilliant.
Mr. Teethy.
It wasn't just any game.
A wonder-filled fantasy. Something so evil.
So, that was it for Picture Sequel, and somehow Sam won with his amazing idea. So,
I'm gonna go
Here's
to
2020.
it's time for us to spin the wheel and see what we're going to be talking about next week.
Okay.
Whatever it is, Sam, I reckon you can win. You know, take the lead on it. That's your problem. Whoa!
Is someone shaving?
It was a super
Why not
spin.
really
spin it?
span that.
Super spin.
I put some nitrous on it.
I'm blind. Wow. Okay, so we've got favorite film of 2009.
Ooh, 10 years
So,
ago.
10 years ago.
A decade.
2009.
1 decade. You know what? It's going to make us feel like
Old as hell.
like time is slipping away from us.
Because it'll
and
feel like it happened
we're
yesterday.
going to sit and just like ponder our own mortality, and just, it's going to be a
We're
really
gonna have to go
depressing
to
episode.
Toontown and get some like life expansive.
From Bob Hoskins,
Yeah.
who's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 2009 is the year of the most successful film of all time. Avatar. So
We could just talk about that.
next week we're going to be pretty much talking about
I guess we're all going to pick Avatar because it's had a lot of cultural impact, hasn't it? We've all remembered
Avatar. Episode done. Avatar.
I ain't talking about Avatar.
I bet you watch Avatar at least once a week, don't you? Because it's such an important film.
Screw that, man. Nah, it was alright. I enjoyed it, but
I
I
was on
don't...
TV the other day.
We've
and I
got
watched
a
him
rebel
fight
in
the
our
robot man.
midst.
Do you guys like Avatar? We'll talk about it next
Talk about
week.
it next
Sorry,
week.
next time.
Well, we're going back in time to 2009, aren't we?
We've done Twilight Zone.
Oh.
Right, thank you all so much for listening. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and let us know why my idea was the best for a sequel out of
Or-
everyone's.
Everybody tweet Vin Diesel to make my film.
I reckon he would.
He would.
And if you've got any sequel ideas of your own, please pitch them. Let us know because I would love to hear some better ideas than the ones that Alex came up with. Thank you very much.
Neil Blomkamp was me annoyed at you because you know this were great.
Yeah, first lawsuit. Right, thank you very much. Take care and see you next time. Bye.